What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports 2 Hine Show. Demeco Ryans is the new Houston Texans head coach, and I want to be telling you why I believe Ryans is a perfect hire for the Houston Texans. One of the reasons why I believe he is a perfect hire is because it's a really safe hire. I know, let's say, some Texans fans are wanting them to hire Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is a good coach. I do think he's a little bit overrated, but if you were to get Sean Payton, you were going to have to pay him $15 to $20 million per season. You were also going to have to give up a first-round draft pick and another high-end round pick. Sean Payton is now the head coach of the Broncos. The Broncos gave up their first-round pick this season and a high pick next year to get Sean Payton. To me, if you would have got Sean Payton, it would have been almost like a Super Bowl or bust every single year. And I know you're not expecting the Texans to be in a Super Bowl this season, but the type of money you're giving Payton, it's almost as if this team better win a playoff game, better be in the playoffs every single season, regardless of how bad they were last year if you were to hire Payton. But with Demeco Ryans, a guy who has been with the Houston Texans as a player, he was there for 6 seasons, had over 600 tackles, one of the best players in franchise history. Fans are wanting them to get Demeco Ryans in the first place. It's a safe hire because with Ryans, it's a lower risk, high reward. With Sean Payton, it's already an extremely high risk, and it's the same reward. Like, to me, I think it's a much safer hire to get Demeco Ryans compared to getting a guy like Sean Payton, who would demand much more money and your expectations are much, much higher. But I think Demeco Ryans, in my opinion, arguably you can make a case, might be the safest hire so far this season throughout all the new head coaches in the NFL these past couple of weeks. The reason why I believe Demeco Ryans is a perfect hire for the Houston Texans is because he will improve this defense so much. When you look at the last 2 seasons, I don't think you can name a team who has had a better defense than the San Francisco 49ers. This season, the San Francisco 49ers were in the top 10 in allowing the fewest rushing touchdowns, second fewest allowing rushing yards. They had the most interceptions, the second most forced turnovers, the fewest yards per game, and the fewest points per game. And now when you look at the Houston Texans, look how bad their defense was. They were god-awful on defense this season. They allowed the second most rushing touchdowns, the fourth most rushing yards, the most rushing yards per game, the 6th most points per game, and the 3rd most yards per game. When you look at this defense with the Houston Texans, there was not a lot of good things last year for Houston. Their defense was definitely not one of them. Their only bright spots last season were really, Derek Stingley Jr. and Jalen Pitre. Jalen Pitre had over 140 tackles and 5 interceptions as a rookie. He is the most underrated rookie this past season. It's not even a debate. He was amazing this year. And when you have Demeco Ryans, who's got the most out of his players these last 2 years for San Francisco, despite having departures, he still led this 49ers defense to have the best defense the last 2 seasons. Imagine what he can, do for the career of Jalen Pitre. Imagine what he could do for the career of Derek Stingley Jr. and some of these younger guys. So it might not be an overnight thing. It's going to take some time, but I really think Demeco Ryans can do wonders for this Houston Texans defense and make them relevant again. Back when they had, J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, and some of those guys. But I think this is just another reason why I really think Demeco Ryans is a really good hire for the Houston Texans. Another reason why I believe Demeco Ryans is a really nice hire for the Houston Texans is because of his connections. When you look at, where he's been the last 2 years, he's been the 49ers defense coordinator, and you look at the 49ers, players on their defense, there's several players for the 49ers defense who are free agents this upcoming offseason. Jimmy Ward, a guy who's been a key piece of the 49ers secondary these last several years, had 3 interceptions last year. Azeez Al-Shaair had over 40 tackles last season. Charles Omenihu, Jordan Willis, Emmanuel Mosley, some of these guys who've been around the league for several years now, they might not be great players, but they've contributed to this 49ers defense these last several years. Players love to play for him. Don't be surprised if some of these guys maybe want to, head over to Houston and play for Ryans. I think that would be great for this Houston defense. You kind of have some of these younger guys like Stingley Jr. and Jalen Pitre, but it would be great to have a guy like Jimmy Ward in that secondary. That would do wonders for that defense. So really, make their defense much improved compared to last season. And one other reason why I believe, Demeco Ryans is a great hire for the Houston Texans. He's a fan favorite. Like I mentioned, he spent 6 years for the Houston Texans, over 600 tackles. He's one of the best players in franchise history for the Texans. Lots of people like him a ton. There's lots of Houston fans wanting him to become the new head coach, and that is what they had now. But when you look at Demeco Ryans, he's a fan favorite. He's, in my opinion, an extremely safe hire. He's going to improve this defense a lot. He has connections. I really believe Demeco Ryans is the perfect hire for the Houston Texans. It might not be overnight, but I truly believe Demeco Ryans will make this Houston Texans team relevant again, like it was in the early 2010s. But let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think of the hire of Demeco Ryans. That about does it for this video. If you're new to the channel or have seen my videos before, I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hines Show.